What's wrong, dude? Oh man, I got crushed so hard when I fell on the ground. I hit the concrete so hard that my muscles are torn, my tissues are ripped, and all my skin is off. And I'm bleeding out, man. Oh, your muscles are torn, tissues ripped, and you're bleeding? Sounds like a wound. What's a wound? A wound is any tear in any of the soft tissues of the body, like the muscles, the skin, or the tissues. Like something as simple as a paper cut could be considered a wound. Well, that's cool to know. How do I aid these wounds? You can aid it by putting a clean cloth on it to stop the bleeding. You don't want to bleed out now. Also, if it's too minor, you can also simply put a band-aid on it. Oh wow, that's good to know. What if I see someone else like this? I don't want them to be in my misery like this. Well, all you gotta do is get medical help or do like I did earlier. Put a cloth on it so they don't bleed out. But band-aids and cloths might not cut it. What do you mean? They could get infected. You could get all kinds of diseases. So before you put the cloth on there, you might want to put either some alcohol or hand sanitizer or either just some other bacteria-killing liquids. Oh, well, that's good to know. Well, I don't want to feel like this again. How can I prevent this from happening again? Well, first off, for starters, you could play some better defense, but you can avoid some very pointy objects such as broken plastic or knives or other sharp things, or shards of glass, Wow, that's good to know. Well, hey, here's a little fun fact. There's different kinds of ways to bleed. What do you mean? There's internal and external ways of bleeding. Well, what's that? External bleeding is when the blood flow is on the outside and the tear is on the surface of the skin. So paper cuts, or ways you could see the blood after you get cut, are good examples of external bleeding. Wow, well, what's internal bleeding? Internal bleeding is when the cut is not on the outside or the surface of the skin. It happens on the inside. That's what happens when either swelling or there's lots of giant bruises on yourself because the blood is on the inside and it has not reached the outside of the skin yet. Wow, that's very interesting to know. It's very important that you clean the wound right after it happens. Here's a little fun fact. You could get many other diseases. Here's just 2 examples. Staph disease and gangrene disease. Oh man, I don't want to catch those. Yeah, also, there's many other life-threatening ones that may also have to make you cut your limb off in order to live. Oh, I don't want that to happen. That means I won't be able to play basketball again. Yep, so you better clean those right away. Wow, thank you for educating me on cuts and wounds and bleeding. But seriously, man, get me to the hospital. I'm dying here.